Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, Bird. I'm still working on setting, like, I forgot that I wanted to open and actually show what I was working on, like, off stream. So I'm currently working on opening that in the background. Currently, I just have, I'm gonna, like, work on the hexagon tiles on Blender. So I have that open, but I forgot to show what I was doing on Unity, which is kind of important. Give like a update on game status. Also, does the like is the music audible compared to like my mic? There we go. Now it's showing. Go ahead and get that where it actually shows on the stream. Hmm. Why does that not actually show up? Hmm. Here, let me transition. Okay, there we go. Now it shows up. Cool. So, this is like my little placeholder hexagon that I have, just to show like what it would look like in game for the size, which I went with a smaller piece because you have to like we have to be able to have 4 player, like 4 of these on the hexagon at the same time, and then possibly like or like creature tokens. So I went with smaller one to have room for any other ones that I need to put on there. So, uh, let me go ahead and run the game so I can show what the game actually looks like currently. So it's very zoomed in, then it pans out, show you the map. Then you can move around, you can rotate, you can move in and out. Which right now it's like a very pixelated. I don't exactly know that is. Why am I in scale? I don't know. Yeah, the aspect ratio is kind of weird, but yeah. So you're able to move, you're able to rotate, you're able to zoom in and out, and then you're able to place the hexagons, which I found out, which I don't know if I talked about last time, but I found out that the game is supposed to work off of you not placing them onto the free spots over here. You're supposed to place them on the standard hexagons, and then once the game starts, they all get flipped over. So that was good to learn before I went too far into the whole like placing them everywhere kind of system that I had before. Let's see. So let me go ahead and put the player back where it was before and remove these other ones so I don't mess up that. And we just have the city one for the moment. So I also made the game manager script following like a couple things. I'm pretty sure like some tutorials, Unity discussions, trying to figure out like what do they say is best. Up. I also made the like a player controller script, which is pretty basic at the moment. Let's see. Let me look at the tutorial that I had before. Was this tutorial on singletons? Okay, I think I have this up correctly. Although I still need to fix it where you don't have to assign it to other steps, but let me see about showing this to Here we go. So we have a game manager, which also has the game states to it. So currently, fine. I put scripts, states, okay. So for the game states, I currently have map placement because that's the first one that you do. And then you have the character movement because you'll be moving the character around the grid. Oh, sorry, I just realized it's good. There we go. That's better. It's actually on the screen now. So you have the character movement where you can move it around. It actually do the events based on where you land, stuff like that. And then you have the like placing new hexagons. So if you draw a card that involves you actually being able to place new hexagons, or you hit like a card that says like, hey, place one hexagon wherever you want, or something like that. So I have a game state for that too, where it would pop up the menu for you to actually be able to place the hexagons. Then you have the combat system in the game that I have not even started messing with, of course, but you know, we have a play state for whenever you get there. And then you have the pause menu, so like whenever you basically need to pause the game so people could do stuff. So yeah, so currently we have these 5 game states, probably gonna get way longer whenever the game goes, because you know, multiple stages of combat, character movement, you're probably gonna have some different stuff involving that, like maybe like card drawing, stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't decided on any of that yet. So, um, so this is pretty simple. I'm like for the player controller, I have the like so it's tied to the player. It has player information to it, which is gonna be like a long list, or it's gonna have like the multi. Okay, hold on. 'Cause I read this a couple days ago. Let me make sure I have this right. So we look at player, which player controller does not currently have the structure to it. Why does it not have? Hmm. Now that's more weird. Hmm. Okay, well, it's supposed to have these. Ideally, whenever the player is placing down all of their cells, it's going to keep track of like what they actually place and where by setting it in this list as it goes. At least that's the idea behind it. So that way it automatically populates as the game starts and you don't have to worry about that later. And, you know, like if, like we can handle it in the player controller if or how I imagine it would be that if the player lands on their specified city cell or creature cell, then stop, like, you know, they could do, like, interact with it in a way that that player could, like, the player that owns it or placed it originally. So it kind of keeps track of who owns what on the map. That's the idea. Apparently, player controller not showing that information. Just kind of weird. It did it with everything else. Hmm. Yeah, I don't get why that's not showing. Hmm. Okay. Go to player prefab. There either. That's. Oh, I completely forgot. I need to raise that player prefab bit. So it's actually like sitting above the hexagons. That should be good. Go ahead and set prefab to that. So no good. No idea why that's like that, but whatever. We're not here to work on that. Here to work on Blender. Let's see. So turn off that. Turn off that. Okay. So this is what we currently have in Blender, which I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. Switching between the two messed up my controls. Let's see. So what I want to do is actually delete a good bit of this that I don't actually need. So what is this? Okay, that was an attempt to make a character before. Let's get rid of uh, that. Which okay. Let's see. So get rid of that. So this is all the current players. So name that. Then hide it. Okay, so that was old player on that no longer exists. So that's good to know. We can keep the light. Cube, okay, that was a temporary player just to see, like, scale. So that's good. Now we have the cylinders. So for the first asset that we have of the game, let's go ahead and make another hexagon, size that in. So let's go ahead and make the playable or the like holographic ones how I imagine them to be. So I actually want a boolean on the other one, not this one, because this is the one that I want to keep. So boolean object of the cylinder, and then yeah, I want that. Okay. Good. Alright. There we go. That is how that works. Okay. So there we go. Now I can see if I like this size or if I want this to be bigger or smaller. No. Okay, I have to turn it back on to actually resize it. That? Yeah, I think that would be good. Let's see. And apply that, so that is going to forever be... Yep. So I undo that for a second. And think about the fact that I need to save a copy of the cylinder without the boolean in order to actually be able to make the other hexagons. There. Okay. Rename, so... There, so that one's done. Then we have this one. We can remove the boolean from. Also remove the smaller one. Why? Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't actually turn that one off. Okay, so let's delete that because we don't get any more. So for these other cells, I actually want the bottoms of the cells to actually be like extend some like downwards. But what I actually think I want to do is make a new collection for each of these. Because what I'm thinking is like for the city, don't know why I put an R in there. Okay. For the city's cell, the thing that I'm imagining is like let's play through this for a second. So the player needs to be able to be on top of the hexagon in order for you to move around the map. If we're going to have stuff like happen on the city blocks, then I can't very well have like a building like right next to like here, and then have like a whole like city little thing going on. Because then, like, let's say 2 players land on here, then it's going to be like very like popular of an area. Like you're gonna have like a bunch of stuff going on with 2 players trying to exist on the same hexagon. It's gonna get crazy. Um. So I think what I want to do is have that cube went in here, didn't it? Yeah, it went in there. Didn't mean for it to end up there. Don't select. Move. Okay. There. Okay, so what we actually want to do is make this where it's a little bit see-through. Like it has like a gloss or a you know, opaque top or transparent top to it. So that way you can actually see underneath. So it looks like a city like cast in resin or something. Which I feel is very board game like. So what I actually want to do is have another hexagon that's about the same size, move it below it. Sure. So we move it below, maybe like a little bit more, so that way we can scale it vertically. Up the see, I don't want Z fighting, so let's try to make this as good as we can. Now that I say that, direction does that move? I don't think that's the right direction. I was doing the wrong thing. Okay, move this up. Let's make it 3. Okay, so we do end up having a gap, I believe. So this is 1, and then we have the 3. So where... Yeah, the 2.5. Interesting. The gap. Unless it's just like a visible gap and it's not actually a gap. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's actually a gap. I think it's just this saying there's a gap. Okay. Cool. So we're pretty much good with that. So what we can do with this is maybe what's that? Oh, wait, you know what I never actually set up and completely forgot to set up, just went into developing? Mostly because I actually, like, was charging my phone. My phone, I forgot to charge it last night. It was at, like, 1%, like, half an hour ago. So, uh, now we're at a much better charge. So let me actually get, YouTube Studio open. Okay. I'm all the way over there. Okay. Let's see. So, set this up correctly. That. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now I have it set up correctly. Felt like something was wrong. Okay. Let's see. So, edit mode. Grab all of edges over here. Bevel them. Okay. Now we take like a glass shader. Didn't think about that. That is of course labeled under the same menu. That one from it. Uh, hmm. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Or actually, this. So if we have both of them be like the same and then make it where edit, select all, merge by distance. Level. Okay. Everything moves. Should see if I do L everything, yeah, so everything gets selected. Cool. So now let's grab this face. Not that. Let's inset the face a tiny bit. So I'm trying to think of how I should do this. What I'm imagining is like having a city and then having like a piece of glass over the top of it, so you can see the city, but you can't like interact with it. Um, for second one, and then edit mode. That set by a bit. Down a little bit. That's about what I want to do, but I do need to actually make it before I drag it down. Let's go ahead and size it so it's 4 and then move down the amount that we need it to be. That way it's not covering or anything. So let's move down to so let's go ahead and put let's turn the player back on. They're still over it. Okay. And then if anything we can adjust it in Unity afterwards to fix that part. Yeah. Okay. And drag it down some. Okay, that's good. Okay, let me go ahead and change that. Once button this. Okay, I want each of them to have that looks weird. I don't why. Oh, because of that. Okay. Um. Okay, that's a bit better. At least this is automatically a different color. Now I can tell like a little bit of what's going on. Okay. I don't like that, but let's go ahead and make the go ahead and make food. So that way that's already done. Make stuff around the least not. Why did... Okay, they look like they're like zigzag. Wait, interesting. Okay. Hmm. Can't I use... I don't really mess with it, but can't you use some of their new stuff that they have? Hmm. So I had the geometry I've not messed with. I have no clue how to mess with them. Uh, okay, I thought one of these would... Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, there we go. What do we have? Okay. Let me actually set fire to this. Change this to that. Okay. We're gonna delete that one. That's not the one I want. um hmm. I guess I should look up how this works. 1 second. Okay, so there's an updated version of the video that I found. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. I am going to make a new scene. Because this video is gonna be like quite the thing. Okay, then back to this. Let's see, so I need copy and then paste that. Okay, so let me, in addition to that, okay, so we're gonna see how this video turns out. Because I think it's going to be the like closest to sort of what I want to do, because I can make like an outline of a city and then just move like based off of what he shows in the beginning of the video. So in the beginning of the video, he shows that you can just move the street and then have it like change the city as you go, and that seems pretty cool. So, um, see. Actually turn off the music so it's easier to hear. checking. Wait, there's a geometry node pan. Wait. Oh, there's. Oh, I could have gone here. Would have made things easy. Okay. I didn't realize that was there. Well. Okay. Well, I learned something new immediately. There's the geometry node panel. Mm. Okay. The only issue I see with that is the fact that I have hexagon and not a square. But we will come back to that in a second. Yeah, so we did have the geometry node here, but I want to make a new one. So city, delete, add, mesh, primitive, grid. Oh, so we can change it if we want. Let's see. I want a ring. Okay. Oh, okay. That immediately went into it. No, I don't want. Okay. I don't want that there. Let's make a new object, I guess. Or yeah. Let's go ahead and make a new object. Make a new circle. We will change the size of the circle to be 1 and size until it roughly matches what we want. Right about there. Okay, let's move it down so it's in the city that I'm building. Cool. Okay, so now we can go back to this. Okay, let's add geometry node. Get the city. So it's a mesh circle with 6 vertices in the radius. Oh, did something happen? Why did I get disconnected to the chat? Oh yeah, let me. There, okay. I didn't think about that. Show you. Okay, so what I did was like, okay, so I was originally selecting this whenever I set up the geometry. It said, oh, that's not what I want to do. So then I remade, or I made a new, like circle to put inside of here, set it to 6 vertices, and then made them, then set the geometry mode to the city, redo that, and then set it to 6, and then I'm also going to change this to be what I actually need, which I should have copied from the other one. This is also facing the wrong way, so I'll have to fix that. see, let's go ahead and rotate this 8 degrees, so the right way. Okay, that should be close enough. Okay, so now that we have that, we can then, I think the next thing he did, okay, so I know he had the points on faces. Let's see, let's go back to the video real quick. So he had distribute points on faces, and then he also had instance on points. Okay. Thank you. Points. Instance on points. Okay. Wait, what was that other option? Instance 2 points. Is it 2 points or on points? On points. Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, and then we also need a join. Okay, so you set that to mesh, you set points, and then you set instance to tree. We do that one. Okay. So let's see. The video says now that we have the basics set up correctly. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So multiple buildings. Wait, what does cavity do? What? Okay, I did random, but I didn't cavity. So it said show cavity. Okay, well. Oh. Okay, so it adds the lines to the. Okay, that might actually. If I go back to random. Yeah, so I still see some. Okay, that helps quite a bit. Hmm. Go back to this. Okay, so we have these cubes. Let's go ahead and delete most of them. And keep this one, it over out of the way. Really far out of the way, jeez. Now that I have, let's move it outside the collection. Let's make a new collection like what he did. Also call it buildings. Things. Okay. Put that in. One. And go ahead and make a second one. 2. Okay. I can't tell if they're the same height or not, but it shouldn't matter too much. Okay. I can go ahead and make duplicates of both of these and then just add the extensions on the top so they're slightly different, because that's actually not bad. It'll like give some depth to the buildings. Okay. Insets. That I'll have 4 buildings already made. There we go. That's simple enough. Okay. Now, let me rename this. So it's building 3, and then we'll do this to build 4. Okay. Now we have them done. Let's go back to our geometry node. Okay. Now we have to. Oh, I gotta remember to actually switch to the game scene. So what I did was in these 4 buildings, I'm slightly different from one another. So like one's a different height, then the other 2 have little extensions at the top, similar to in the video. Also put them into their own collection of different like 4 buildings. Now we're back to this. So let's go back to the reaction video. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's see what ours let's see what ours look like. So we add we add a node for the collections, input scene collection info. Set this to buildings. We separate and reset. Do an instance into. Well, okay, I thought that was going to be like the add tab. Make that a little bit easier, but no. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go to geometry operations. Then we do. I already forgot what it was. What? I don't think that's what it was. Okay, back to the video real quick. I already forgot. No, instances to geometry. Gotcha, okay. I was thinking of it the wrong way. Hmm. That's interesting. Where you would think they would be. Not where they are. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, let me do this and then just do instance to tree. That's under geometry, but I did not see it. Instances, but I feel like I'm missing something here because I don't have all the wait. Okay, wait. So instance to transform. Okay, transform and then do instant. And currently, it does not show any. Actually, on the circle, put it here so I can actually see it. Hey, wait, why does it not show? See, I don't have. Okay, maybe it just doesn't work with the mesh circle. Oh, or that could be the. Okay, had to fill the end type. Change the end type. Um. So now changed. So they still overlap with them. The sizes are definitely different, but I don't hate the sizes. It's mostly just the like they're sitting under. So if we do that, I think that will fix most of them. Yeah. Okay, that's better on that part. Now, okay, so now they're still somewhat together. So what do we do about that? Yeah, I already. Hmm. Okay. Oh. Okay. So change the distribution. Okay. Okay, so currently I have it on random. Poison disc. So distribution. Change that. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and the random. So I think he added the random onto the scale. So let's see, so random value, get from value to vector. This node input does not support fields. Wait, go back to the video. Oh, that's after. Okay. Back to here. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and save, so that way if I crash, it does not remove all of the progress that we've made. But there, remove that from there. So now we have different. See, that's about. Let's go from above and see what it looks like. Yeah. Only thing is I don't want. But I think I can fix that just by making the radius smaller, so that way it's not by the edge. And then whenever we get to the part where you actually like do the overlay, then it like part of it, I think that will fix the like overabundance in the middle. So okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hmm. I don't know if I need the random rotation necessarily, because it is just going to be on boxes, because I'm trying to keep it, like, sort of simple. Um, so I think the main thing that I need is a Boolean road. I don't know if I need the duplicating node system. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay, geometry nodes, they're pretty cool. I did not know you could do that with the geometry nodes, and that is cool. Okay, and that's not. I don't even think that's like too crazy to actually. Uh, um. Okay, so we need an object info, which is object info, and off of scale. Wait, scale element. I was trying to type in Blender and typed on OBS and did things I didn't know I could do. Um, scale. Okay, so scale element. So you scale, then you realize. Raycast. So Boolean math. See, so then you do subtract. You subtract after you do a not. Object. Okay. So now I need to set. Okay, so I need to set these into the hexagons. Actually, to be so I can actually see it. Let's see, put those like in a little bit. And now I need the pieces that are going to crossroad. I need to join those together so they're all one object. Oh, I need to go back to city, set that to the actual road. I think is the, yeah, making sure it's actually set to the right thing. Now, I need to go in here and if there's any other settings that I need to do. Okay, so on subtract, we had, okay, wrong subtract. Okay, so subtract. So I think it's either math or yeah, or integer math, but I think it's this one. So 2.5. Negative 0.25. See. I think the rest is Right, so what do we do after we make this? Hmm. Okay, I'm curious why 112 works for good. Interesting. Okay, so double check. So Boolean into selection, then subtract into the other. Okay, okay. So let me actually take more of this and go it down and make it the group. Move it and take not and put it into the selection. And this one, put it into the put it into mesh on accident. Do that into selection. Fix that. Is the okay? Let me actually fit. Why does quality look so bad? Okay, that still looks bad. Like it's just so bad on my screen. Okay. Let's see, but yeah, that's not supposed to. Mm, need to cut. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now, not doing the selection. Hmm. Check something. Okay, well now I have it set to relative and it's not really doing anything. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Figured out what the issue was. I did scale instead of geometry. Um. So now so now I have it where it's actually separating it